So a group of hawkers from Limpopo has recently submitted a memorandum to the Education Department in Tzaneen, protesting against a circular that prohibits them from operating near their schools. In fact, this action is in response to reports of suspected food poisoning incidents at several institutions in that province. And of course, we've seen that trend throughout the country. For more on exactly what their plight is, let's bring in Isabel Ngobeni. She's a hawker in Mopani, I beg your pardon, and joins us now via our video link. Isabel, thanks very much indeed for your time. Welcome to the SABC News channel. Can you break down for us and our viewer what exactly your concerns are about the circular?
My concern is about banning us from selling food from schools. Yeah, I think I will take it from there when I'm busy talking to you. But then the main concern is for them to banning us not from selling from schools. And the specific concern regarding this circular is they did not address the actuality root cause or problem, which is the snacks sold by certain suppliers.
Okay, and how do you think they should go around addressing that root cause?
I think they were supposed to start of attending where we actually get the snacks, not for them to just give us the letter that we should stop. As I'm talking to you right now, I understand those suppliers are still operating, and as the workers, we're not even allowed to go to school and sell our products.
Yeah. Let's take a few steps back, Isabel, if we can. I'm sure you've also watched the many different stories around children falling ill from eating these alleged snacks. As a hawker operating in that space, what's your response to that? Because questions are being raised about whether or not there is a safe handling of that food.
There is, okay, I'm going to talk about the schools around here in Limpopo, or let me say Tzaneen. We never have one accident that maybe kill or kids are sick because of the snacks that they've mentioned that they are maybe poisonous. And again, we feel that the punishment is only us because the case happened in I think they're saying in Gauteng province. As we're speaking now, what we're hearing, it's the rumors, I'm not sure about that, but then the people from, the workers from Gauteng province and other provinces are still selling. Do you get my point? So for us, it's so painful that we're not even selling, but we experience the accident
I suppose
of that poison snakes.
Sure, I understand. I suppose part of what the government there is trying to do is to make sure that Tzaneen remains in a position where you don't have any of these cases. But you've said already that you think the answer to that is to attend to the root cause and not to prevent you from going about your business outside these schools. Help us understand then how this has affected you so far.
Yeah, it affected us a lot. As the learners now let me put it this way, it affected us. Number one, selling at schools. Some of us, we don't have any income other than selling at schools. Number two, it was like not even a notice. I remember I went on Thursday to sell, and then after selling, they hand out the letters that we should not come. And then on Wednesday, I went to buy my stock. Like, imagine spending your last cent thinking that you will make money so that you can take care of your kids, and then now you are stopped. Like, I'm stuck with a lot of stock. And it also affected us because some of us are not even selling snacks. We're selling amagwinya or chips. but then they didn't stop the specific food that caused the problem. Like they stopped everything. So yeah, it affected us. Like we don't even have income. If I can tell you now, I'm having 11 years month old baby, so I can't even have money to buy like diapers for him. So do you understand where my point is?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I suppose this is part of the unintended consequences of what we've seen take place around the country. I suppose, there's going to be, let me ask this question this way. What are some of the sort of demands, for lack of a better term, that you put forward in that memorandum? What are you asking for?
Okay, the letter that I wrote to the Department of Education that we submitted, I think it was they went there yesterday because we went on Monday and then they said we should come back on Friday. Yeah, I state that some of the things they did touch on what I've stated there. That we asking the department to give us a chance to go and sell. The department should intervene in terms of checking the products that we are selling. The health and safety inspector should also come and check. And remember, some schools, the principal gives you list of what she wants you to sell for the learners. We don't just buy things and go sell. But I understand that this thing, it affected the whole South Africa.
Would you support calls for there to be more regulation in the sector? That, government should be more involved than they have been, just to check, for example, that health standards are being kept not only with the food that you're selling, but even with these snacks, which we know are apparently at the center of these illnesses that we've seen?
Definitely, I should support them. Remember, I'm also a parent. We also selling food for our children. We wouldn't want something that will harm them. But at the same time, we're selling because we also want to provide for our kids. So I think the department, if it's the Department of Health and the education, if they can work together to monitor us, I think that will be the best.
All right, I suppose that's a good place to start because everybody, it seems, is after the same goal, which is to ensure that children ultimately are safe. Isabel Ngobeni, thanks very much indeed for speaking to us and giving us your story. We do appreciate it here on the SABC News Channel. Isabel is a hawker operating in Tzaneen. There's a circular apparently that's been sent out preventing them from working in outside schools in that region. And of course, as you can imagine, it's had quite an adverse effect on her own livelihood and those of many others who work alongside her. Hopefully, as soon as there's a response from the department, we'll be able to bring you that as well, get you a sense of what the way forward actually looks like.